window. And though
Now, welcome our host, who is a two-time Emmy winner and who's morphed an award-winning television career into a popular daily radio show heard on two of the biggest radio stations in America, both in LA and San Francisco. And beyond all that, he's a huge advocate and friend to animals and living creatures everywhere, especially his favorite creatures, cats. Put your virtual paws together for Mark Thompson.
I love him. Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. All my friends of cats. It's so great to be with you. You'll notice a change perhaps from last year. Not only are we virtual, and it was glamorous, let's be honest. The Skirball Center is a really cool place to have an event. We're virtual, and I've donned my pandemic credibility glasses, yes, which I'm sporting for you, especially tonight. But we have brought a lot of the glamour and the fun from past furball at the Skirball events to tonight's virtual event, and we're all kind of getting the feel of it right now, even as we do this for the first time. I'm very excited, though. You'll meet a lot of people, I think, with whom you've had some contact already, and you'll also see some new faces. So we'll get things started. I do want to tell you, most of you may already know how Kitten Rescue has worked and how it's come to pass and become this immense organization that's so critical. But, 2 points. First of all, COVID-19 has created a real problem for not only Kitten Rescue, but for shelters across Southern California and across America. They've had to reduce staff, even at Kitten Rescue, the volunteer numbers and how people are let in and the social distancing and all this sort of thing had to be modified to accommodate COVID-19 and sort of pandemic and basic health regulations and restrictions and concerns that we all have, right? But you also want to represent what Kitten Rescue is, which is helping the difficult cases. That's one of the great things I love about Kitten Rescue is they take on the tough cases. They take on senior cats. They take on challenges, and then they don't give up. They are with those cats for the length of their lives. It's, to me, one of the great organizations for that and many other reasons. But the second thing I wanted to mention to you was how it all started. It started with Sue Romaine beginning in 1997 to work here in Southern California. And she was working at a shelter. And back then, all the kittens 8 weeks and under were euthanized immediately. That was just the way it happened. And she was obviously bummed out to see this, horrified to see it, but that was really policy. And then one night, a guy brought a little kitten under 8 weeks of age into that shelter with a sack. I mean, it was like in a bag. And Sue said, can I help you? It was like closing time. And he said, yeah, I found this kitten and I just wanted to bring it. And knowing that fate that awaited that kitten, Sue said, I'll take the cat. And that cat was named Jackpot because that cat had hit the jackpot. And that was the beginning of Kitten Rescue, because from there, Kitten Rescue was born. And in fact, Sue Romaine took the germ of the idea of helping these creatures that otherwise might suffer the worst of fates and creating an organization that would continue to help those creatures for, as it turns out, decades. Amazing. I mean, to me, it's a story worth relating again, just for the magic that occurred in that moment and for the future that indeed it has brought to this moment. So I just wanted to revisit that. Maybe a bunch of you already knew that, but I just wanted to kind of share with you some of the origin story. Again, I'm going to bring on a guest, but before I do, I want to mention it's been, even with COVID-19, an incredible year for Kitten Rescue. They have 50% more adoptions this year than in a normal year. So a lot of the community has stepped up. And I'll give you some more statistics along the way. Look, this is a fundraiser. We do want you to support us. So at the bottom of your screen is the ways you can get in touch and connect with us. You can bid on auction items and also offer contributions through the night. So it's 2020 Fur Ball. You text that to that number there at the bottom of your screen, which is 1-289-217-0296. 1-289-217-0296. Once you do that, you don't have to, put the number in anymore. But again, 2020 Fur Ball, you text that number, text that to that number, and you are connected with us. And we're going to have a great night. I want to introduce a comedian, an actor, and someone who, to me, he's got a great story about how he's come to the world of cats. And I can say this as someone who is way into cats. I have 4 cats. And this is the only group I could say I have 4 cats and not worry about people going, 4 cats? What's wrong with you? It's a magical thing to have. I would have 40 cats if I could. I love the cats. But this gentleman also has found his way to a love affair with cats. And please welcome actor, writer, comedian, Ahmed Barucha.
Hello, I'm Ahmed Barucha. Kitten rescue, great cause. I love it. Ironically, my biggest fear growing up in life was cats. I'm afraid of cats. It's the worst fear to have because no one respects it. Right? You guys don't. You asked me to be here. I'm terrified. But I just, like if you tell anyone that owns a cat that you're afraid of cats, they all have the same reaction. They all want to give you the cat, right? Like, oh, not my cat. My cat's different. He's like a dog. Pat him, pat him, pat him. It's like, that's not how you treat a phobia, right? If you come over to my house, you tell me you're claustrophobic, I don't try to shove you in a closet. It's like, oh, not my closet. My closet is different. It's like a field. Get in. Get in. Isn't it like a field in there? Right, but then I started dating a girl with a cat, and you can't be afraid of a girl's cat and keep dating the girl. It doesn't work out, You can't be all, you gotta hide that deep down inside. You can't be all smooth and be like, hey, baby, let's go in the bedroom. Oh, God, there's a cat in the bedroom. Can we hang out in the living room for a while? What were you saying about college? But at first, the cat was afraid of people, so we had a deal going on. We stayed away from each other. The cat's name is Rosa Parks. You can't really hate Rosa Parks, right? But at night, when I go to sleep, that's when Rosa Parks, the two-faced cat, would just come out onto the bed, just be like, and just sit and stare at me. And I'd be like, what the f***? I thought we had a deal. And she'd start going, which at the time, I didn't know it was a good thing. And if you know that's a good thing, that's the scariest thing for your number one fear to do on top of your chest. Like, she's not moving her lips. It's coming out of her mouth. She's not going, blah, 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 blah. She's just going, that's like a rattlesnake. That's scary. But every night she'd come there, never hurt me. She'd just sit there, right, and protest until I accepted her into my heart, just like her namesake, Rosa Parks. I was like, holy shit. Like, now I love cats. Like, they're my favorite animal now. But, like, I realize that cats are just sensitive like me, so they're all kind of weird. They're all just like... Like, at first I didn't know, though. I couldn't read their emotions like you can dogs. Like, dogs, if they like you right away, they tell you, right? If they don't like you, like, hey, f*** you, buddy. You're like, okay, I'll be outside, right? Thank you. But if they like you, they're the best. They're the best hosts, right? You go to someone else's house and they have a dog. The dog is the first one to greet you, right? You come in the house, the dog's like, hey, come on in, come on, you can pet my dog, come on, sit on the couch, right? Just starts running in the room for no reason. He's so excited. He's like, oh my God, we got visitors. He's like, there's somebody here. I'll be right back. He's not bringing anything back with him, right? But if you go to someone else's house and they have a cat, the cat doesn't greet you. You walk in the house, the cat just lurks around the background for a while. It's just like... Who's this guy? I'm going to my room. But now I love cats, so thanks for having me. I have 3. Rosa Parks, David Bowie, and Cutie Pie. We gave up on the last one. But I like talking to people like you guys because you guys are all nice to animals. Recently outside of my house, I had a bunch of crows. 20, 30 crows all in one tree, just calling nonstop for about 2 days straight. Just like, caw, 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 caw. Just 20, 30 crows in one tree, just caw, 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 shaking the tree. So finally, I called animal control and I was like, hey, what the hell is wrong with these birds? They were like, it's baby crow season. They're calling it the baby crows until they learn to fly, and that can last up to 5 days. And I was like, what? That's the crow flight training program? That's how you teach the gift of flight? Just fly, 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 for 5 days. And it works. 5 days they were gone. Try it at home on your kids. Just learn how to fly, how to spite. All right, you get off my back. I'll fly. Hey, you guys have been great. Thank you very much. I think you've been great. I'm in the past. You could all be gone in a poof of smoke or something. Or maybe aliens took us and saved us. So I hope so. Hope something good happens. Tell me in the past. Good night.
Oh, thanks, Ahmed. I love it. As I say, I love that story. You know, someone who goes from being frightened of the whole cat scene to being a huge advocate for cats. And really cool of you to donate your time and your energies tonight. This is the Fur Ball, not so much at the Skirball. We're Skirball-ish in our virtual environment during the COVID-19 pandemic. It's exciting to have you all with us, and we'll keep things going. I do want to mention, again, please connect with us. The information as to how to connect with us is at the bottom of the screen. You text that number, Furball 2020, and you're connected, and then there are all kinds of auction items, and you can kind of stay up on how the evening is going, and you can make a donation. Please share the YouTube link if you're watching that way, Facebook, any way that you are connecting with us now. Help others connect so that we can spread the word about Kitten Rescue. What an organization. I should mention, I don't think I have talked certainly about how there have been so many successful adoptions, but the number of adoptions, I believe it's 24,000 cats and kittens since the starting of Kitten Rescue, and already 1,700 cats this year. I mean, it's really exciting. And so why not bring on the president of Kitten Rescue? And I also want to mention Ben Lair is someone who met the Kitten Rescue people because he had kittens to rescue. It started with he himself bringing, I believe, and Ben, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you brought these cats to the rescue organization, and the rest is history. Now you're the president. Please welcome Ben Lair.
Thank you, Mark. I brought them to the rescue organization and said, hey, I found these cats. Can you take them? And they said, nope. But because I'd already been taking care of them for a little bit more than a week at the time, they're like, you're basically already fostering them. Why don't you continue? So that's how I got started in 2002. So thank you, everyone, for joining us for our 12th annual Fur Ball. As Mark said, normally we would be at the Skirball Cultural Center. I'd be standing on stage. There'd be a big slide of a cat behind me or something like that. Have to do things a little bit different this year. So coming to you live from the Kitten Rescue Nursery, and I actually have live cats behind me. Not really doing much, but they are here and they are live. This isn't interactive though, so I can't really gauge your reactions. No idea if you're laughing at the jokes, throwing things at the screen, snoring. It's a big mystery. These guys, they seem kind of bored though and kind of tired with my stuff already, so I'm going to try to keep things moving along. As Mark told you, we were founded in 1997. That was the 90s, imagine that. We're 23 years old now, and it makes it fitting that the pandemic has consigned us to living in our mother's basement. Sue Romaine, speaking of our mother, she started the organization back in 1997, gathered a core group of volunteers intercepting kittens as they were being brought into the shelters, raising them in their homes, putting them up for adoption, and doing that year after year after year, and building up a core group. And for the first 8 years, we were entirely foster-based. But then we took a big evolutionary step in 2005 and acquired the Kitten Rescue Sanctuary, the property that this nursery building is located in right now. And that allowed us to expand our rescue efforts and do even more to help the most vulnerable populations of homeless animals. Then in 2016, with funding from the Best Friends Animal Society, we opened up this nursery where we could really ramp up our rescue of 0 to 4 week old kittens. These were the population that is the most at risk at public shelters and were the most likely to not come out alive. By having this outfit here, with staff coming in 24 hours a day, we could rescue dozens and dozens more every month than we were normally able to do. The first 4 years of the nursery's operation, we saved over 2,200 at-risk cats and kittens from city shelters, which is just an amazing achievement. It's 2,200 cats that we weren't rescuing before. And then in 2018, just outside the door here, we opened up the Kitten Rescue Adoption Center. It's a walk-in adoption center where in just 20 months we did 400 adoptions, helped us turn over all these extra kitties that we were able to rescue. So that was our past, and 2020 rolls around, shaping up to be more of the same. Let's all do it again. And that means in the middle of March, kitten season begins. Strays and ferals are popping out litters of kittens. They need to be rescued. We take them in the nursery. We do bottle baby trainings, get them into foster homes, blah, blah, blah. But this year, the middle of March had a little extra surprise in store for us. And COVID-19 has really forced us to change nearly every aspect of how we do business and put us in very unfamiliar territory, happening right at the beginning of kitten season. And so doing rescue work when you really can't go outside and shelters are temporarily closed or very restricted, vet appointments are almost impossible to come by, and you can't have multiple people sitting in close proximity in a room bottle feeding kittens, it just makes everything a lot more difficult. And so when everything started, we really had no idea, how is this going to impact our organization? Are we going to not be able to rescue? Are we going to not be able to have an impact? Can we not do what we were really meant to do and what we're good at doing? And then something really wonderful happened. And it's really because people realize that if you're going to be staying at home, it's much better to do so with a bunch of cats. We told you so. We've been saying this for years, but finally it hit home for a lot of people. And we were flooded with inquiries from people who wanted to either foster or adopt. And as a result, we were able to really increase our life-saving efforts. And as Mark said, in a good year, we normally rescue and place 1,000 cats and kittens. This year, we're on pace to do 1,500. And this outpouring of positive energy from the community has really been a bright light in an otherwise very dark year. Facing the adversity of this pandemic, all of you, the volunteers, adopters, and donors, came together as a community to help us weather this storm and save so many more lives. So on behalf of all of Kitten Rescue and the animals in our care, thank you for volunteering, thank you for adopting, thank you for donating. It's you who make the difference in the lives of homeless cats and kittens, and we are truly grateful to have you a part of the Kitten Rescue family. We can't this year thank you in person. We do have a fun evening ahead of us. So I'd like to welcome back our esteemed host, Mark Thompson, who's going to introduce our next segment, which is Ben Gets Peed On by Cats. Hey, whose idea was that?
Wow. I knew it would be a fun night and worth being here.
Is that why they had me do this in the nursery?
Ben, you look right at home with all those cats all around you, and we're all envious. I mean, it's such a cool environment, and thank you for, I think, setting the scene for us, because I'm sure the challenges were immense. I have to say, even I had forgotten that mid-March was just the bow breaking on COVID-19, and of course, it coincided with the kitten season, and the challenges, immense as they were met by Kitten Rescue and the organization reimagining the way things are done. So again, thanks, Ben. This organization, Kitten Rescue, is driven by volunteers. It's driven by those who meet challenges of the sort that Ben talks about, and to support them, you can text and contribute. I should mention something exciting when it comes to raising money. We really are trying to enlist your support in raising money, whatever you can possibly afford to give, and support our efforts and the efforts of those at Kitten Rescue. What I was going to mention is that apparently now, beginning right now, the funds that you donate will be matched up to $25,000. The board of directors have just given me this information. They're going to match $25,000 $1,000. So when you donate $200, it becomes $400. You donate $100, it becomes $200. You know how a match works. I don't need to. Do I need to go through all the different? No, I don't think so. Okay, so it's exciting and special. So please donate during this time that the board of directors is matching your donations. In essence, making your donation double what it is. So thank you. And again, you can donate. Connect with us on the at the bottom of the screen is all the information. You know, Tricia Helfer, I'm a fan. It's kind of cool to be around a celebrity, primetime star that also shares a love for this organization, as do I. And Tricia is a longtime kitten rescue supporter. She's an adopter. You know Tricia from a bunch of series. Number 6 in Battlestar Galactica. She is Charlotte Richards in Lucifer, which is a terrific show and so super popular. And she can be seen now playing Dracula, the Dark One, on the sci-fi series Van Helsing. We know her and love her for her advocacy and her work on behalf of felines and her work alongside kitten rescue. Here's Tricia Helfer.
Hi there, I'm Tricia Helfer. And like you, I am a big fan of kitten rescue. I've adopted my cats Caesar and Prissy, and I'm just gonna shorten the list. Let's see, LeBron, Fiona, Rigby, Buster, Sam, and by adopt, I mean foster failures. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you are a kitten rescue foster parent yourself, or you know one. I mean, there are roughly 1,200 cats in kitten rescue foster homes all over LA. That is an amazing job by our amazing volunteers. But in addition to our incredible fosters providing safe and loving homes, I want to tell you about the Kitten Rescue Sanctuary in Atwater Village. The sanctuary houses up to 150 cats, and they range in age from newborns and teens all the way up to senior kitties. Many of them are highly adoptable cuties that are just hanging out with us for a while before they find their forever homes. I mean, look at these nerdballs. Who wouldn't want to adopt them? Some of the cats may start with us at the Kitten Rescue Nursery, which we created specifically to save orphaned kittens and mamas with new litters from winding up at the city shelters. The city doesn't have the resources to provide the round-the-clock care for baby kittens. But at the Kitten Rescue Nursery, we have our staff and volunteers that work 24 hours a day to bottle feed up to 50 kittens every 2 to 4 hours. But in the time of COVID, bottle babies have been moved into individual fosters' homes. And then once they're weaned, they move into other foster homes, or they are moved over to the Kitten Rescue Adoption Center. We opened the Adoption Center in 2018 because our nursery program has been so successful, and we wanted a place to showcase all the kitties that we save. And since most of them have been hand-raised, they are incredibly people-friendly, and it's fun for potential adopters to come and get to hang out with them. But some of the cats may spend the rest of their lives at the sanctuary because they're a tough sell to potential adopters. Some might have chronic medical conditions, and some might have, shall we say, personality quirks that aren't what most people are looking for in a companion. And some of them may be our senior kitties. They're very close to my heart. Kitties like Duchess, who found herself without a home after 17 years. We don't always know their stories, but too often elderly kitties end up in shelters because their caretakers become ill or they pass away without taking the steps to provide for their continued care. And sometimes they're simply abandoned because medical issues become too time-consuming or expensive to care for. People are facing difficult circumstances during this current COVID pandemic, and more cats are facing homelessness and even euthanasia as a result. This year has been extremely challenging to the work that Kitten Rescue is doing, but Kitten Rescue has stepped up to the challenge. Not only is our intake up nearly 50%, but our adoption efforts have similarly increased. And that goes for senior kitties too. However they get here, once a senior kitty joins the sanctuary, they are safe, They are loved and they are well taken care of by our staff and our dedicated volunteers for their entire lives. Now, of course, we would love to find them all adoptive homes, and we will keep trying. But until then, the Kitten Rescue Sanctuary is a refuge for these very special kitties. So please donate to Kitten Rescue so we can continue this very important, life-saving work. Thank you.
I tell you, I mean, I'm kind of emotional person generally, and I'm so moved by the effort, and that was so well explained. And Tricia, thank you for walking us through, I think, this magical work that is done at Kitten Rescue. I want to thank our sponsors, because obviously it takes money to drive a lot of the greatness of Kitten Rescue, and even to put together tonight, it took a few dollars. And so I want to thank them. Our sponsors for this evening and beyond, Robert Klieger of Houston Hennigan. Thank you so very much. Denise Katzman, in memory of Laura Katzman. So beautiful that you would be part of things as well and be a sponsor. World's Best Cat Litter is one of our major sponsors this evening. The Mickelson Found Animals Foundation. I hope it's Mickelson and not Michelson. Good host would have checked that out ahead of time. But then a really good host would blame the producer for not making it clear whether it's Mickelson or Michelson. So maybe, anyway, Mickelson or Michelson Found Animals, if it's that. Nonetheless, thank you for your support tonight. Blabbermouth as well, and Fremantle Media, thank you so very much for your support as sponsors for tonight's event. So, let me bring in some support myself. You know this person. She's a Kitten Rescue board member. She's always one of those people who sparks up the evening. And she's the guardian of Waverly McTiny Beans. So she, I'm sure, never gets tired of being defined by Waverly. Evelyn Jensen, welcome. And please remind us why we're all here tonight. And again, please welcome to the festivities.
Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending. Thank you so much for all of the support that you've already given. I want to remind you that whatever you give tonight is matched by the board up to $25,000. We are very excited, and I actually have some very exciting news to share with you right off the bat. And that is that we have just received a $5,000 gift from AmeriHome Mortgage in AmeriHome Mortgage Company out in Westlake Village. So they have chipped in for $5,000. That $5,000 means a lot to us. With $5,000, that sanctuary that you just were introduced to so wonderfully by our wonderful friend Tricia Helfer, that sanctuary can run for a week on $5,000. And since that donation has been matched, that means we can run that for 2 solid weeks off that donation. So thank you, thank you, thank you, AmeriHome Mortgage. Please, all of you who are out there watching, doesn't have to be $5,000, whatever you can give. We really do have quite an ambitious goal. But as you've heard, boy, have we been doing a lot of work this year. So we are excited to be here, excited to be able to try to recreate a wonderful event that we have every year. So thank you for joining us, however you're joining us. So I don't know if you all know this, but Kitten Rescue doesn't just rescue cats. I mean, I know kitten is in the title, but if we find any animal, it doesn't matter whether it's a cat or we've rescued bunnies, we've rescued birds, we've stepped in for squirrels and possums, and of course, dogs. We love dogs. I love dogs. For those of you who know Waverly McTiny Beans, you may know that it was a big old Doberman named Rover. There he is. There's his handsome little mug. And you can see that big old beak, that big old mouth of his is the reason that Waverly McTiny Beans is alive. He gently scooped her up out of some crazy bushes off the side of the road. Otherwise, I never would have seen her. And he scooped her up and saved her life. So I, and probably most of you, are big fans of Rover. Another dog that I'm a big fan of is Maggie, and so I'm going to now turn you over to Maggie, and she's going to tell you a little bit more of about some of our KR canines.
All of you beautiful darlings out there in cyberspace joining us for our virtual fur ball. I'm simply thrilled to pieces that you're all here. My name is Maggie, and I'm one of the many beautiful canines of Kitten Rescue. Scandalously glamorous, if I do say so myself. Now, I may be blind, but I know you are all beautiful people because you love animals. And while goodness knows there are those of you who prefer companions of a more feline nature, when an animal is in need, it doesn't matter if they say meow or woof. Kitten Rescue is ready to step in and save the day. Marvel at these other marvelous creatures who have gotten a paw up from Kitten Rescue. You may not know it, but dogs make for some of the best friends a cat could wish for. And here's a story that's bound to delight. A certain someone was having a go at a game of chance in a poker tournament when he got word that a litter of puppies had been dumped at the shelter with no mother. There were 9 little doggies in all. Now that beats a full house, I should think. This brave soul drove to the shelter that very night, nursed the poor little pups through the night with the help of his steadfast partner, and found fosters to take some the very next day. And though they were a delight to have about, they all needed forever homes, and they found them. Well, almost all, because one was simply too scrumptious to pass on, and that is how Ben Lair, president of Kitten Rescue, ended up with Crackers the dog. Goodness, just look at this family reunion. Now, wouldn't it be lovely to help us dogs and the cats who love them by being a darling old so-and-so and donating to Kitten Rescue now?
Aw, thanks, Maggie. You know, it's kind of weird. I've known Maggie for ages, and I never knew she had an accent until now. Who knew? It's a shock. All right. But one thing I do know is that we are getting closer. We are moving up closer to our goal. We are at $26,845. Thank you, Janice, for your donation.
Wow.
Sarah, thank you so much. Sharon McGovern, thank you for your gift there. Appreciate that. Anonymous gives a lot. I am very appreciative of that. However much you can give, we will be very appreciative. $2,500 pays for
a $25,000 double, right? It's all the way. The first 25,000. I don't know when it started. I just got the note that it'll be doubled. So that match is always exciting.
Yeah. And that's not in there quite yet.
I didn't mean to break your rhythm. You've got it going. So please, it's great. I love seeing all these totals come in. This is very cool.
Yeah, Anonymous again. See, Anonymous keeps chiming in. Janet Pearson, thank you so much. Again, anything that you can give, it all adds up. Everything adding up to $1,000 pays for an entire clinic, to microchip, vaccinate, FELV, FIV test kittens for a whole day. So keep it coming. We're getting closer to our goal, but we can't wait.
I love that the night goes on, and I love that we have a generous crew. I'll tell you what I really loved about that last video we saw, or your discussion, Evelyn, about the fact that Kitten Rescue is called Kitten Rescue, but no animal really goes orphaned. In other words, dogs are a part of the organization's ethic as well, to help all these creatures. They really do get a lot of cases. I sort of feel like that's where I fire the flare. That's where I raise the SOS flag, because even just last year, a friend of mine had 2 cats, and one of them was supposedly, socially challenged, however they politely say, kind of a difficult personality or behavior issue. And Kitten Rescue helped get permanent homes for both the cats. And by the way, the one that supposedly had the social issues didn't have social issues. It was just a question of getting that cat to the right environment. Apparently, that cat is delightful and super warm and great. So, Kitten Rescue steps up, as you say, not only for cats and kittens, but for dogs as well, and for the tough, challenging cases. So, just wanted to mention that also.
Yeah.
Let me bring on someone who I've got kind of a man crush on. In the sense that whenever I have an issue with my cats, I have 4 cats, and all the cats in all the videos you see tonight all look happier than my cats. My cats, don't get me wrong, I'm sure I live my life for my cats. I think about them all the time, and could I make their life better? And are they happy enough? And is my cat living its best life under me? And I really do think about these things. And Jackson Galaxy is the guy I go back to. I go to his books, I go to his videos to try to understand these issues that I'm talking about. And so with that lengthy intro, let me again welcome a guy who is the star of Animal Planet's My Cat from Hell. He's the cat daddy himself, Jackson Galaxy.
Well, hello, beautiful people. It is I, Jackson Galaxy, your cat daddy at your service. And not just at your service to teach you a thing or two about cats today. Usually that's my job. Today, it is to be a clairvoyant. Because I know what you're thinking right now. I do. I know what you're thinking. Here we go. It's been kind of a weird year, right? So far, so good. And, I have been spending more time at home. And I have heard a lot through the cat grapevine about the need for foster parents, and I've never done it before. But, it might help break out of sort of a repetitious cycle around here. It would be great to have, a cat or a kitten here, and it wouldn't be permanent. And wow, what an amazing idea to take a cat who may have had, abuse in their past or neglect or really had a tough time one way or another. Or what about kittens who really need help at that early age? I could do that. I love cats. I just don't have, the wherewithal. Anyhow, if you weren't even thinking about fostering, at least I just put that in your brain right now. If you've never fostered a cat before, I can tell you straight up, it is one of the most rewarding experiences you can imagine. You get to sort of instill a sense of confidence and mojo in a cat who definitely didn't have any when they came to you. They get to remember what it's like to be loved by humans, to be surrounded by fun things like, wow, there's food and treats and this really great stuffed animal over here, and I get to sleep in this bed. This is amazing. And by the time they leave you, they are confident enough to take on that next challenge in their life, that loving placement into a new forever home. Now here's an even better thing. If you live in or around the Los Angeles area anyway, Kitten Rescue is the best resource to hold your hand through this process and make you the best foster parent that you can be. Here's where it starts. It starts with a virtual training program to help get you up to speed. Once you are up to speed and you're ready to start taking on this challenge, you're going to be part of a mentoring program where a more seasoned foster parent will take your hand and lead you through this process. You will have all medical supplies. Kitten Rescue takes care of that. And then once you get started, you are part of a foster community over 1,000 strong. So believe me, you've got help. You've got people in your corner, and there is no reason for you to say no. And listen, if you wanted to jump really in and foster the most vulnerable of the cat population, and that's neonatal kittens, again, covered. But the know-how, how to bottle feed, what to look for, how to get them through these first crucial 8 weeks of their lives, that's all going to be handed to you. And believe me, once you get into it, it's, like riding a bike you've never ridden before. Sort of. Anyhow, that's what Kitten Rescue can provide to you. And that's just the material and the facts. But having been around Kitten Rescue for many years, I can tell you something else. It's about the people. It's about the love of cats that's permeated through this entire organization, and you will be a part of it. And I cannot recommend it highly enough. I mean, listen, I keep saying it over and over again. Fostering is amazing. And right now, fostering is so necessary. We need new foster parents like we never have before. This is one of the most untested moments of our lives when it comes to rescue, and you can be a part of making sure that every cat gets to the other side of this uncertain time. So, like I said before, you got a room in your house, you got some time, you love cats, and now you've got kitten rescue too. So how about we get to it? That's exactly what I was thinking. I knew what you were thinking. You were thinking, you know what? Let me get to it. Where do I start? Well, kitten rescue. All right, you guys, let's get to it. Let's love on some cats, get them mojo-fied, and get them into new homes. What do you say? Yes, I knew that's what you'd say. Light, love, and foster care mojo to you. Mwah.
Thank you, Jackson Galaxy. You know, I just moved into a new place. My house actually burned in the Getty fire, which is very dramatic. I'm glad to get, and had a heroic cat sitter get the cats out. I wasn't even in LA when it happened. But the reason I'm mentioning it has to do with Jackson Galaxy. So we moved to a new house, and we just moved there. Okay, this is like within the last month, and my mic is making static. Is it better? Is that better? Okay. So I'm not going to repeat it, but essentially we had to move, and all I cared about in this house that's got all this stuff, you know, it's got a pool and all this like special stuff that, you know, it's a mid-century modern this and whatever. All I cared about was the cats. I said, well, where's the cats room going to be? And well, how are they going to have access to that room from here? And, you know, will they be able to negotiate the whole house, and how can we do it? So I get out Jackson Galaxy's book. He wrote a book called, I think it's called Catopia or something like that. And it's got all of the different ways that you can, you know, catify your house, right? And I didn't need the whole house catified, but I definitely wanted their room to, you know, be cool for them. And so I pointed to all these different ramps and shelving, and the contractor is building it now. So I just want to say it's fun to see Jackson on the show, and it's fun to be around not only Jackson, but all of you who care. I don't know if you care that much about the cats and kittens, but I'm guessing you do. I think one of the great things about this event is it brings you in contact with many who have the same love that I have and that we have. Let's bring back, can we do the marathon video? Let's do that. Kitten Rescue is set to be an official charity of the LA Marathon. This will be our 9th year. And check out Evelyn and Jessica as they tell you how you can be part of things.
Four, 3, 2, 1. So many caring folks are here to save the kitties. Let's form a team to run the LA Marathon. Lace up your shoes and hit the starting line. The things we do for cats. The things we do for cats.
Kitten Rescue!
If 26.2 miles seems too far to manage, don't worry, friend, we've got a 5K for you too. Or in between's a fun half marathon. The things we do for cats. The things we do for cats. If dehydration is the problem that you suffer, our cheering stations have the Gatorade you need. The weather's fine, your friends will be impressed. The things we do for cats. The things we do for cats. And whether you run fast or run slow, it's a long way to go. And you probably feel like parts of you are dying.
Woo! Kitten Rescue!
And the finish line isn't for a few more miles. Your tank's at almost zero, but you're hanging like a hero.
Kitten Rescue!
Ooh, the kitties love you.
Kitten Rescue, come on now!
Ooh, you save the day.
Kitten Rescue!
Ooh, you feel like crawling.
Kitten Rescue!
But you're done. An ice cold drink would surely cap the celebration. You're saving lives with all the money that you've raised. Join Team KR and be a superstar. The things we do for cats. The things we do for cats. The things we do for cats.
The things we do for cats.
The things we do for cats.
The things we do for cats. The things we do for cats.
The things we do for cats. The things we do for cats. Oh, sorry. I got really caught up.
You do so much,
I love
Evelyn.
the marathon. I love the marathon. If you out there, if the marathon is on your bucket list, or even if it's not, come think about joining Team Kitten Rescue. Every year we field a team for the marathon. I think this will be our 10th or maybe 11th. I've lost track. But it's a very supportive group. We help you train. We get you set up with fundraising. I have no idea what form the marathon will take this year, so maybe we'll be running it from our living rooms, in which case I'm in shape. But who knows, but we'll definitely be having some kind of an event, field teams. We run the 5K. Cats can go with us on the 5K. It's great fun. So please consider joining the marathon. You'll make a really big difference to us and to the cats. Raising money. And speaking of money, how are we doing on our ticker? How are we doing? 36,610, you guys. It's moving on up. So if you haven't pitched in yet, if you haven't donated yet, right down at the bottom of the screen, there is a number. I've always wanted to do that. The screen below. Text in to the number below and help us meet that goal, that $100,000 goal. We know it's ambitious, but with your help, we can get closer and closer.
Well, I've been told that my mic has been kind of distorting, Evelyn. So I told this long story through a distorted mic. It makes me sad, but hopefully people got something out of it and apologize. I apologize for that.
We heard it.
But again, it's one of those things that is sort of a function of the fact that we're kind of doing the virtual world fundraiser this time around. So we're, experiencing certain hiccups along the virtual way. I do want to bring Jackson Galaxy back, not just because I'm a fan of Jackson Galaxy, but because Jackson Galaxy explains how Kitten Rescue is working with really tough situations like feral cats and socializing cats that are under-socialized. They have a Cats on Patrol working cat program. Here again, Jackson Galaxy.
Hey everybody, this is Jackson Galaxy, your cat daddy. Welcome to the 2020 Kitten Rescue Fur Ball. And we're just glad to have you here wherever it is that you are right now. And even though we can't be together, it's okay. We can't see you, but we can feel you. We can feel the vibes. We can feel the loving intent, and we can feel your love for all cats. And we are grateful for that. And speaking of, just because we as humans love all cats, that does not mean that all cats will love us. And you know what? That's okay. Some cats were never socialized to hang out with humans in the first place, and because of that, they're scared, they're apprehensive. And when these cats wind up in city shelters, it's often because they just weren't wanted where they were. And unfortunately, feral cats cannot be adopted to the public, so their chances of surviving the shelter are pretty close to zero. But never fear, under-socialized cats. Kitten Rescue's got your back. In 2017, in association with Fix Nation, Kitten Rescue started the Cats on Patrol Working Cat program to honor the memory of Fix Nation co-founder Mark Dodge. And since then, they have rescued 210 under-socialized cats from city shelters, giving them not just freedom, but a sense of purpose. As an NKLA Coalition and New Hope partner, Kitten Rescue works with Los Angeles Animal Services to evaluate and rescue under-socialized cats from city shelters and place them in the type of home that's right for them, like warehouses, community gardens, backyards, and barns where their talents are needed and appreciated. And when the requests for working cats exceed the number of feral cats that are available in the shelters, they partner with other rescue groups who have under-socialized cats in need of homes.
We are at Heaven on Earth's Perry Place, and we are collaborating with them to place 4 of their feral cats as working cats. Sometimes they pull feral moms, under-socialized moms, and kittens, and the kittens are able to go on to find homes as companion animals, but the moms are not adoptable, so we place them as working cats.
It's Margaret. She's getting to her new home.
She's cute. I used to have a tabby that looks just like me.
Kitten Rescue volunteers set up the cats in acclimation enclosures where they remain for 4 weeks. This helps the cats to adjust to their new home and to feel safe.
These provide an area for them to retreat to.
Is your sister?
They're twins. You're right, they're twins.
Maybe just staying here for a minute.
Let me see if she goes to her sister.
After the acclimation period is over, they are let out to do their job. Cats like Paisley, Mikey, Gary, Shadow, Henry, Jupiter, Zeus, Thelma, and Louise, and Johannes have been given a second chance thanks to working cat programs like Cats on Patrol. Sometimes it's difficult to assess a scared cat in a shelter environment. As a matter of fact, 10% of all the cats pulled for this program weren't feral cats at all. They were just really scared. And that's the story of the rescue of Sassy. Now, when Sassy was in the shelter, she was hissing and swatting in her cage, but then she would turn around and meow at the humans, trying to get a connection with them. So once she was pulled from the shelter and had a painfully injured eye removed, Sassy became a whole new cat. And now she's in a forever home as a companion and not a working cat. Thanks to Kitten Rescue's Cats on Patrol working cat program, many scared and under-socialized cats have found the home that's right for them. And whether that's in a home with humans or in a barn with new friends. Please donate to Kitten Rescue so they can continue their work in advocating for these misunderstood cats. And in the meantime, giving them a gateway to a new life. Thank you again for loving all cats, and thank you for supporting Kitten Rescue.
Oh, thanks, Jackson. I love the Cats on Patrol program. I love it, I love it, I love it. And I love Sandra and Janice for all the work they do on that. It is a ton of work, but it makes a huge difference in those cats' lives. So exciting. Let's go ahead and check in on our ticker, see how we're doing. We are up to 37,465. Marina Green, thank you so much for jumping in and donating. Appreciate it so much. Thank you, Lynn Hamar. Evelyn Gray, I see you. Thank you, thank you. You not only are a rock star, you've got a great name. Let's just say it. Lorraine Deanda, coming on in with a donation. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you. And please don't forget also, another way that you can help Kitten Rescue and help yourself a little bit too is our auction. We've got amazing items in our auction. There's amazing art, there's jewelry, there's experiences. So please check that out. You don't even have to donate on that tonight. We'll tell you the deadline for that a little bit later on, but keep coming, keep checking out those items, and keep donating. Thank you so much. Rob Klieger, thank you again. Saw your name pop up there also. So I don't know if all of you know this, but rescuing cats and animals, any animals, makes you a rock star, or at least a star, a superstar. It's true. And if you don't believe me, take a look at this video of some of our very favorite supporters who I'm sure would agree with me that they owe all of their success to their furry friends.
We adopted Sunny from Kitten Rescue. It was about 1.5 years ago now. He's going to be 2 years old in November. And he has just been the best thing for our family. He's biting my hair. He's literally attacking me. Ow!
Hi everyone, it's Pookie, Shannon, and Nala here. We adopted Nala back in 2010 and she changed our lives.
Now we have 7 adopted kitties, 1 pup. I think sometimes people look for love in all the wrong places when they're actually found at the shelter. What do you say, Nala? Adopt, don't shop.
Here's my husband with one of our rescue animals. One of our many rescue animals. Missy's not a cat, but she thinks she is. Missy, say meow to Kitten Rescue. Meow. There you go.
Hello, Reese Darby here. I'd like to say thank you to Kitten Rescue for my cats. Look at this one. So this one is Gizmo, and he's my son Theo's cat, and I think he loves this cat more than us. But we're your parents, Theo. Love us, please. And Kitten Rescue also provided us with this super duper awesome cat called Alvin. Hey Ovi! Say hello! Just relaxing. Yeah, that is my chair, you know that, don't you? Thanks, Kitten Rescue!
Hello there, I'm Stephen Cuevas. And this is Boomerang. He's a 16-year-old gray tuxedo who I rescued about 15 years ago. Or, you could say he rescued me. I support Kitten Rescue. You know Boomerang here does too.
This little one was rescued from a barn, and she's amazing. This little one was taken from 2 bad homes before she finally ended up with me. This tub of fun, Pickles, was also taken from a bad home. Little orphan Annie here was literally plucked from the street at 5 weeks old. Oh, hi, princess. You gonna say hi? Go get a rescue cat. They're everywhere.
What's up, guys? I'm Nita Strauss, and this is my little rescue kitten and holy terror at times, Pantera. Pantera came to me as a foster from Kitten Rescue LA, and I was an immediate foster fail. I fell in love with her right away and ended up adopting her and keeping her for myself. So thank you, Kitten Rescue. Thank you guys for everything that you do. Thank you for bringing this little bundle of joy to our lives.
Hi, I'm Nikki Limo. This is Franklin Limo right here. Franklin was rescued by Kitten Rescue back in 2008. I adopted him right after he was rescued from a hoarder in Long Beach. My other cat, Joe, was rescued from under a gas station, so he was pretty much feral. 3 years in, he loves to cuddle with Franklin, he loves to cuddle with me, he loves to cuddle with his dad, and I cannot imagine life without my adopted kitten. So thank you, Kitten Rescue, for all that you do. You are helping the world and helping all the kitties, and we love you.
Hi there. This is Captain, and he got a pirate name because he has an eye patch. See who that is? That's Little Champ. Say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. This is Jackie Daytona, and his owner couldn't take care of him anymore. Thanks to Kitten Rescue and all that you do.
Rob Halford, the metal god from Judas Priest here. I love cats. And I want to thank Kitten Rescue for saving so many cats and kittens and finding them homes. You rock!
Hello, darling. It's me, Elvira, and I want to thank all my friends at Kitten Rescue for taking care of all my four-legged feline friends and doing such a fantastic job. Please, everybody, donate and support their mission. Until then, darling, unpleasant dreams.
Sunny would like to apologize for his earlier behavior. He wants you to know that he is a very snuggly, very floppity cat who is very loving. He is also a little bit of a rascal and he steals our food.
You know, none of my cats would be that docile to shoot a video with. That's just amazing, Jenna Fisher. Thank you to all the celebrities and high-profile people who are so involved with the effort to rescue and foster cats through Kitten Rescue and beyond. So cool. And it's not over there. I mean, there is fostering beyond just that. And I'll share that with you in a minute because there's a tireless work that is done on behalf of Kitten Rescue by volunteers. Those volunteers, foster parents, are all across Southern California and beyond. This year, Kitten Rescue has trained 238 new foster parents. This year, just in 2020, with COVID-19 and all the rest, and with the virtual training that you saw in the video with Jackson Galaxy earlier. That's enabled us to increase rescue and adoption rates by, as you've heard already tonight, nearly 50%. Again, in a year with COVID-19. So meet two of the Kitten Rescue foster parents, Natalie and Brigitte, for more.
Hi, my name is Natalie. I volunteer at the Adoption Center and I also am a foster for Kitten Rescue. I've been fostering since March of this year, 2020, which was very interesting because of everything that's been going on, I've spent a lot of time at home, which gave me a great opportunity to foster as many kittens as I possibly could. Let's see, we started with Bagheera and her kittens, Winnie, Baloo, Louie, and Wolf, and also had Elsie, and Penny, and Kingsley, and Sophie, Teddy, Lainey. It has been a very busy year in this apartment. And yeah, so I got most of them adopted out in pairs with their siblings, which is incredible. Also, I may have had a foster fail. This is Wolf. He lives here. He'll have a new friend soon, because you should adopt him too, guys. Come on, bud. Ow! What are you doing? What is this? What is this? What is this?
Hi, I'm Bridget Dale. I started fostering with Kitten Rescue about 9 or 10 years ago. In the past year, I've fostered 13 kittens. Merlin, Eartha, Caper, Argo, Flossie, Nori, Hoagie, Shortcake, Fabio, Chunk, and Edelweiss. One of my own cats is a Kitten Rescue foster fail from a few years ago. His name is Boots, and I started fostering him as a sick kitten, and he got healthy, but he has a lingering nasal condition where he just kind of will shoot boogers out randomly. And out of all the kittens that I have fostered, somehow that's the one that I just couldn't say goodbye to. Hi, mister. I'm also part of the Kitten Rescue Mentor Program. We just help people that are new fosters not feel so isolated. Sometimes everything seems easy peasy, and then you get home and you get your first fosters and you think of a bunch of questions that you didn't think to ask at orientation. Maybe you don't know how to choose a good home for a kitten, or maybe you just want someone, to ask, is my kitten's poop normal? Can I send you a photo of it? The kids have become little rescue advocates. Whenever my daughter draws a picture of a cat, if she draws it outside, she makes sure to draw it with an ear tip because it must be a community cat. We also have a dog that puts up with a lot of baby kitten sass. This year, 2020, has been a whole lot of feeling like a helpless passenger on a train wreck, and it's very empowering to take a little kitten that was gonna die or just be out on the street, and take them from that to fat and happy and ready to be adopted into a great home. It just feels good. And that's why I'm addicted.
I'm just so touched and inspired by all that work and that kind of commitment. Very, very cool. Yeah. So how are we doing in terms of fundraising, Evelyn?
Yeah, how are we doing? Let's check that. Oh, hey, 37,880. Keep it coming. Awesome. Amy Ginnow, thank you so much. I know Amy. Yay. Thanks for the donation. Another anonymous. Thank you. Thank you. So exciting. Gisela McKee in there. Thank you. Steve Littlejohn. Keep coming. Keep coming. If you want a shout out, feel free to just put a little note in there that you want to shout out, because we love you. And we love all of our volunteers. Bridget and Natalie, thank you, thank you. It's people like you who make it possible for us to do all of the work that we do. Those of you who are continuing to donate, just know that your donations go to so many different things. $250 raises a kitten from soup to nuts, right? All their medicals, spay, neuter, everything. $100, we can microchip 20 different kittens. $50 in there, whole tray of vaccines, taking care of our kittens and keeping them safe. So any amount helps. Any amount's wonderful. Thank you to all our supporters, and keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Yeah, I have to say, as we wrap up, the things that I walk away from tonight with are things that I will remind everybody of, and that I just try to keep in mind, which is that COVID-19 and this year of the pandemic has created challenges to an already challenging situation, right? We have more animals and more of these fabulous creatures and innocent creatures than we can possibly accommodate already. And then COVID-19 has put pressures on Kitten Rescue that we never thought we'd have to deal with. And Kitten Rescue has responded to those pressures. And Kitten Rescue can now virtually train foster parents. And Kitten Rescue continues to be a place where there's information and outreach and fostering, life fostering that goes on at Kitten Rescue. So even as we face these challenges of COVID-19 in this pandemic year, and I suspect life will be different for a long time, Kitten Rescue is stepping up and stepping up with our help, with those of us who need to support in any way we can, both with fostering and also tonight with the financial contributions. So as Evelyn said so appropriately, The contribution lines are open and continue to be open until September 30th. You can bid on auction items and continue to be a big part of the future of Kitten Rescue. Next year, we hope we'll be back at the Skirball Center for Fur Ball at the Skirball. But I have to say, this has been a wild night of virtual connection. Thanks to everybody who made it possible. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes who's helped with the headphones and trying to make things workable. And from all the different parts of the area where we brought these things together virtually, it's been a special night. Thank you for being part of it. And until next time, I hope we see each other in person next year. Have a great year.
We got one more video.
We're not done?
We're not done.
We have one more video?
Jenna Fisher. Jenna Fisher's going to take us
Oh,
out.
I thought we ran Jenna Fisher's video. I'm sorry. Jenna Fisher's a big star.
Yeah. So
Oh my God.
you mentioned some of the adaptations that we've had to make for COVID-19. So we're going to actually let Jenna take us through some of those and the impact and what we've actually done to take care of that. So Jenna.
Please. Sorry, Jenna Fisher. Go for it.
Hi, fellow kitten rescuers. It's Jenna Fisher, KR's former call line operator and foster parent, and I am here to tell you a little about the rescue work that KR has done so far in 2020.
When the pandemic struck our city at the beginning of spring, Los Angeles Animal Services was forced to dramatically reduce their intake at the shelters. So we partnered with LAAS to have calls from the community redirected to Kitten Rescue, so we could serve the animals who desperately needed us at the beginning of kitten season. Because while humans started social distancing, the cats did not. Our volunteers rose to the challenge. They drove all over the city to pick up sick and injured cats and kittens in need and nurse them back to health. KR volunteers went back to the locations to ensure that any feral cats were trap neuter returned, and we provided food for the property residents to ensure that the cats would be fed. But it wasn't as easy as all that. Many high-volume spay and neuter clinics also closed their doors during this time, making it difficult to find appointments for these services. So we partnered with several organizations to open up their facilities on days that they were normally closed. This provided vital spay and neuter services for community cats, as well as cats and kittens in our foster system. As veterinary service became more difficult to come by, we had to adjust our operations to keep up with the flow of intake and adoptions. We hired vet techs to come each Sunday to assist our volunteers in getting basic medical services done for their foster kitties.
There we go.
What we did not expect at the beginning of this pandemic was just how much our community would step up to help. Offers to foster came flooding in, enabling us to say yes to more rescue cats than ever before. The inquiries to adopt new family members came in at the same rate, increasing our rescue and adoption rate by nearly 50% this year. This has been a challenging year, but our community came together to help us save more animals than ever before. We could not have done this without the tireless efforts of our amazing volunteers. Our volunteers proved that when times are tough, the tough get going. Because rescue cannot stop for pandemics, while homeless and abandoned animals need our help. Here are some of our success stories.
Donate to Kitten Rescue now to help us continue with this amazing work. Sunny and I really appreciate it. He's sleeping.
Oh my God. I didn't think I could love Pam from The Office any more than I already do. And Jenna Fisher, thank you for everything tonight. And to think she's a kitten rescuer. That's great, Evelyn.
Yeah, she used to be our operator. She used to answer the phone, and she's amazing. And that cat. Your cat fell asleep on camera. Oh, of course, I guess
That cat is really like a true force of nature. Terrific.
Awesome, awesome. So I have news. We've hit $39,000 so far. We're still got a ways to go.
Wow.
When we hit
Wow.
45, we'll meet the board match. So keep it coming, keep it coming. We got some more donors. Dodie Reddington, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jennifer Davis, thank you for chiming in there. Janet Pearson, thank you for helping out. Again, every dollar that we raise goes to help the kitties in some way, whether it's for our cats on patrol, whether it's our medical cases, which has been mentioned and Mark has also brought up. We do not shy away from the hard cases. We give every animal that comes our way a fighting chance, and that takes money. So please, please, please open up and help us out in any way that you can. And don't forget the auction. The auction, again, it is amazing. And for the first time ever, the auction is going to keep going beyond when we end tonight. You actually have until 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I believe that's the time, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on September 30th. So we go to the very end of the month, so you can continue to donate, you can continue to bid on auction items, you can tell your friends, and if you don't win an auction item, don't think of it as a loss, think of it as free money to give to Kitten Rescue. That's how I like to think about it. Anyway.
I should mention that Dr. Jennifer Conrad donated $500 tonight. I saw her name go by on the screen. She was instrumental, as you're aware, in so many ways, but in getting the declawing process to the illegal status in West Hollywood and beyond. So it becomes illegal to declaw your cat in so many places because of the hard work of Jennifer Conrad and her group. I mean, the legal group. And it just goes to show you how one person and a group of people can really make a difference in this society and, you know, in the city and also beyond your city. So the Paw Project is just a great organization.
Absolutely. The Paw Project. Yeah. The Paw Project and Jennifer Conrad, Dr. Jennifer Conrad, was the vet that got Waverly back to walk in and got her all hooked up with therapy. So, yeah, amazing.
Very cool thing. Anyway, so great to see her name up there and the support. Yeah, really, really cool. I didn't know that about Waverly. I've learned a lot about a lot of people tonight. So tell me what's next, Evelyn, because clearly I've lost my place. I believe we have one more video to essentially sum up those who really make a difference in the world of fostering and through Kitten Rescue.
So we're wrapping up here. So Mark and I are going to say goodnight, and I'm going to extend my official Kitten Rescue thank yous to Mark. Thank you for giving your time. Thank you for all you do. Thanks for loving cats so much and being so cool about it. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate all of your support. We know that a lot of you out there are already our donors and you're our supporters and you're cat lovers, but thank you for however you support Kitten Rescue. So we're going to say goodnight and we're going to send off to, you're going to get to hear from a couple of wonderful adopters. And then you're going to
Next year, we will be live, if at all possible, face to face, to be among you all as we typically like to be year to year. It's so cool to spend time around other people where you don't have to explain, well, let me explain why I have 4 cats or 5 cats. You know, you kind of like, again, the community of people who love cats is a special community indeed. And so the foster community, I hope we can all get together in person next year. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for supporting us tonight.
Thank you and good night.
This is Corey and Pete.
Thanks, Kitten Rescue.
We adopted Fifi and Dee Dee from Kitten Rescue. They became best friends while they were living with Elisa and Jessica. And now they're our best friends. And we really needed some best friends during the COVID-19 period of isolation.
It's really make a whole house different. And we feel really, really lucky and happy with them.
Thank you, Kitten Rescue.
Thank you.
Saw him at a house down in old West Hollywood. I didn't mind, couldn't go my way. And though I had a moment of hesitation, I wouldn't trade her for anything. 'Cause there's a cat in the window, and he's playing with my ego. There's a cat in the window looking at me. Couldn't find the shirt and the shoes that I wanted